Hello, today I'm very excited to be cooking a bison and Brussels sprout pie. Why am I excited? I love pies and I didn't think I would be having them on the autoimmune protocol. So being able to simulate a pie is a great option and also a very tasty and healthy one. What you're gonna need for this recipe is a pound of bison. You're gonna need 4 cups of halved Brussels sprouts. You're obviously gonna need some Beauty and the Broth beef bone broth. Gonna need kale. You're gonna be using 3 cloves of garlic, some fresh rosemary, coconut oil, a large onion, some baby spinach. We're gonna be using half a can of full fat coconut milk and our best friend, olive oil. Before you start this recipe, make sure that you preheat the oven to 375 degrees. You're gonna need sweet potatoes. It's better to prepare it beforehand, ideally cooked and cubed ahead of time, but mine is not cooked, so I'm gonna put it on the stove for the first part of the recipe to get it nice and soft to mash down for the second part of the recipe. First, we're gonna chop the onion. I'm trying out a new hack as well, where apparently if you leave a wet paper towel next to said onion, it's a water source for it to attach to so that you don't cry, but the paper towel does. Okay, just an FYI, the hack did not work. I'm crying. But besides the point, in a large skillet, we're gonna mix together our onion, bison, oil, and the garlic. Whew, something's gotta give. I'm thinking about onion glasses. And a pound of bison. Bison is a very lean meat, which is also very, very great for you. I'm gonna give this a splash of olive oil. We're gonna cook this for 8 minutes before adding the remaining vegetables. At the same time, you wanna be cooking down the sweet potatoes so that it gets nice and soft. All right, while it's cooking for 8 minutes, you can prepare the rest of the vegetables. 4 cups of the baby kale, Brussels sprouts and spinach, already measured out. Pro tip, we're gonna prepare the rosemary as well. Okay, now we're gonna add in the halved Brussels sprouts, a packet of Beauty and the Broth bone broth concentrate, 1 tablespoon of rosemary, and the kale and the baby spinach. And then 1 tablespoon of coconut oil with a generous helping of some salt and pepper. I'm gonna add in some bone broth from Beauty and the Broth. That's all cooking. We're gonna take the sweet potatoes and mash them up and add 1/4 cup of coconut milk and some sea salt, because this is where the quote-unquote pie comes in. Really got it nice and crispy. Line a baking dish like this with some fat, because that's just the best. Or you could also line it with parchment paper to make it easier and a little bit of fat, but I'm going straight for the source here. I'm just, you could use a spoon. I'm using my hand. I'm committing to this dish. And line the sides too, that way it's much easier to get your your bison pie out of here. Bison is done, look how beautiful that looks. We're gonna line it on this baking dish and then pour our sweet potatoes on top, and we will be putting it in the oven, the preheated one, for 20 minutes. Wow, this looks really, really good. I don't know if I could wait 20 minutes. I could smell that rich bone broth. Okay, now we're gonna spoon our sweet potatoes on top and kind of as even as you could get it. And if you need to add a little bit more coconut oil to make it, sorry, not coconut oil, coconut milk to make it a little bit easier, by all means, go ahead. All right, now we're ready for the oven. And voila, there you have it, our bison and Brussels sprout pie.